Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm so glad you're here on June the 16th. It's a Tuesday, 2015, and a very special happy birthday to my little Mackenzie Chester, my youngest granddaughter. Birthday today. I know you're going to be watching, so happy birthday, baby. We're going to do some exciting things today, so we'll see you a little bit later. Let's get on with our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Highway 77. It is hot. It's going to be right around 90, 91, low of 76, and our water temperature stays up around 84. I know you've been watching the weather and seeing where all that hot air is coming from. It's just been extremely hot. I hope you're not out picking peas in the middle of the day because it's going to be hot, but I think most of that bad weather is going to stay to the west of us. So anyway, it's going to be rough out there, and we have a trip planned this week. I don't know what we're going to do toward the latter part of the week. Maybe it'll lay down a little bit. Our river readings, Apalachicola, Bluntstown, we're looking at, it's level off. It's reading a 6.3 this morning and in good shape. And the Choctawhatchee at Caryville, rode across it the other day. It looks a little muddy, but it's dropping out really fast, reading 6 foot this morning. They're going to drop on out by the latter part of the week on down to like 4 foot. So we've got a good drop on it. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery here on 23rd Street. And today we have some great tides this week. Look at the strong tides we're having. We have a high tide at 9:12 in the morning and low tide at 8:08. Have a 2 foot tides. And these strong morning tides, it's got coming in really strong. So we get up early, get up there at daybreak, and I know you notice how long these days have gotten. Well, we'll enjoy them while they can because Sunday, of course, will be the summer equinox. Also Father's Day Sunday, a lot of big things going on. So be aware of that. Our long days will start getting a little bit shorter next week. So this is the last week of our long days of daylight. The marine forecast, of course, coming out of the south-southwest at about 10 to 15, really is closer to 15. So pretty strong seas out there. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. We're going to get started on some pictures now. I want you to bear with me with technology and all. Here's how I do this. I have this iPad here, and of course the picture's on here, all right? And then I have my iPhone here, and I have the list. And sometimes they don't jive, so every now and then we'll get a mistake. So, and then sometimes it just don't work. You know, technology is, especially for our generation. I know you guys out there understand what I'm talking about, but it works for the most part. It's been a great benefit to the show to get all these in. I used to spend a fortune on printing cartridges, printing out all these pictures and putting them on the stand over here, but I'll probably save enough money to buy this iPad from the printing cartridges. All right, let's get started. This first picture, Taylor Tyson with a beautiful 27-inch trout. Good job, Taylor Tyson, the Tyson family up there. Now this next one, let me turn this sideways. This is special because the young man that did it. This is, of course, a rig. He made a rig to haul his kayak. This is down in Tampa, but it's Jeremy Pitts. And Jeremy was in my class 4 or 5 years ago. Here's a closer up of it. Jeremy actually was a smart kid, majored in engineering at the University of South Florida. In fact, he's graduated as an engineer now, I believe, working down there around Tampa. But look how he rigged this up. That's not hard to do, okay? And he can tow your kayak, and it's just great, first of all, to hear from Jeremy and to see him still using his head in the outdoors. He's a smart young man. All right, let's pass this on now. I've had several pictures here of this state record blue catfish called out of Ebro, Stacy McDougal called it. Okay, now let's go to this sailfish right here. Got an email from Clint Huggins, and I want you to marvel, first of all, at the variety of fish we're going to show and the different things we're going to show on here. This is the Huggins family. Clinton Huggins sent this. This is Clayton Huggins when they took out some folks fishing. Of course, I can't find the email, but I've got it on here somewhere. But there's 2 pictures of it. Okay. I don't have it right here. Okay, I've got it. I'll tell you, we'll get the details later on. That was caught here locally about 20 miles outside the pass. Clayton Huggins' boat had that. Good job, Clayton Huggins. All right, there's another picture of the catfish. All right, now, Florida be like at 3:45, bright and sunny, and then 3:50, it's storming. and 3:55 the sun comes back out. I saw that. I thought that is so true. So always be aware of the weather. Now I'm going to skip over. Let me skip over another section and get into this next section of pictures. What happened? All right, now listen. You want to see a big red snapper? Check out this big red snapper here, caught by Kim Purdue Ellisor. That is a nice one right there. That sailfish was caught by Steve. I had an email right here. Kim Purdue Ellisor, nice big old red snapper. All right, how about you want to see a big red grouper? Bob and Levon Billsmo went fishing. This is Jeff Puckett holding this up, and I got a series of pictures they sent in. Lighting by Levon, one of the big sponsors. They love the outdoors also. Here's Levon with this nice triple tail. They on a variety of fish they caught. Okay, here's Bob Billsman. This is a 3-pound lionfish. This would win the tournament. That is a big lionfish, Bob. Thank you all for sending that in. And then we got that's a whole afternoon catch I had. Look at it. That's like 22-inch beeliners. That's a good fish fry right there. On that triple tail. Okay. Now I'm just going to skim through these. These are the I didn't finish up last week on these at the Carabel Red Snapper Tournament. Got a series of pictures here. Had a great turnout. They had boats waiting in line down there trying to come in. Okay. Now let's get back over here to West Bay. Our good friend Brian Revere, principal there at Vernon, getting some summertime off, catching a nice redfish. That's a pretty West Bay redfish. Okay. How about this is one of my favorite young ladies here, Lindsay too. Bass fishing up in her daddy's pond up there in Alabama. Good job, Lindsay. Great young lady. Okay. Now, how about I got an email on this one. This is Hassie. I love this one here. This is he said, "Hey Coach," he said, "My name is Hassie. I caught this catfish last Saturday just after dark. I caught it on an ultra light rod, a 12-pound test line, and a brim hook. I was using earthworms as bait. Good job, Hassie." Nice job. I know that was fun. Good. Here's a fine young man here. Keith Nelson, one of my former students. He said, now this is great. He said, "Hey Coach," he sent me an email with this. "Hey Coach, I haven't seen you in a while and thought I would say hello. I'm living up in Washington, D.C. area part-time now. I'm working up there. I still have my house in Panama City and come home as often as possible to fish. I was home last weekend and caught some nice blackfin tuna trolling out around the squiggles. Also, want to say I'm glad you put all your shows on YouTube. I subscribe to your channel and watch almost all of your shows. It lets me keep up with what's going on back home and where the fishing are biting. Hope to see you soon, Keith Nelson." Thank you for it. And that's one of the blessings of YouTube, to be able to do that, and people can keep up with it. All right. Now, my good friend Tim Jennings went fishing with his brother up there in Alabama, or was it Georgia? Wherever they call it jug fishing, where it's legal to go, and that's an 18-pound catfish. Good job, Tim Jennings. All right. I got a couple of pictures of him. Whoa, I got too many pictures of him. Let me see. All right. We're going to have to wrap it up. Let's see. That's going to wrap up. I got one more. I do have this picture here. We got to get this straight. This is Brandon Cutchins, the 230-pound red snapper. Good job there. Captain Jerry Cutchins sent it in. And that's all we're going to have time for. I've got more. We're just running out of time. I do want to show you some more pictures. Let's go ahead and let's take our break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Hope you enjoyed yesterday's video. We got a great video tomorrow too, but we'll talk about that later. Got some emails here. We'll get squared away. But first now, I got a call from Bill Dozier, County Commissioner, and we didn't make connections on the phone. And I tried calling back, Bill, but your voicemail was not working what Bill was talking about. And I was going to have him come on the show this morning, but we just couldn't get back together. At the County Commission meeting today, they're going to be talking about some things going on East Pass. So be aware of that and stay on top of it. I know Bill's worked really hard to get East Pass open, what we call the Old Pass, and be interested to see what happens. There are a lot of emotions on both sides of the fence on that. There's been lately a lot of folks are concerned about opening that up and opening that path up for those 10,000 jet skis that come out of the area and do some of that native peace and quiet over there. So, and a lot of people want to open it up because we're washing the bay in and out. So you got two sides of the issue going on. So it's going to be interesting to see. But that should be on the county commission meeting agenda today. Got a couple of emails. Hey, Coach, Ronnie drew my name this morning for the gift certificate. Just wanted to thank you and Tarpon Rock Seafood from Ken Kirkland. You're welcome, Ken. Hope you enjoyed that big red snapper. The picture I showed you of that sailfish, and I hope you marvel at the different variety of fish we just showed in those pictures. That was all within the last few days. Here's the names on it. Hey, Coach, Dad asked me to send you these pictures of sailfish we caught on Sunday. He thought you might put it on your show. Steve Thurman caught him while fishing with Clayton Huggins and Sons. We were about 25 miles out of San Andrew Pass. He hit a flatline chopper while we were snapper fishing. 80-pound monoleader with a 5/0 circle hook. Hope you're doing well. Thanks, Clint Huggins. So, you know, a lot of folks, you know, while you're doing that, and we do that too, while you're just fishing on bottom of something, you just throw out a flat line and just leave some live bait out there, and you just never know what's going to hit that thing. It's exciting. Okay, one more email. You say, Winston, and this is from Mike Perdue, speckled trout fisherman extraordinaire. Okay, it's time for the 27th annual Big Bend Classic Fishing Tournament out of Carabel this Friday and Saturday. I'll be going over there to fish. Winston, there will not be a weigh-in station at St. Joe this year, so normally they weigh them in at St. Joe also, but they just sort of bring them back in that local area. You have to go to Carabel to weigh the fish in. You know, Bay County has the best trout fishermen in the Panhandle. That's quite a compliment coming from one of the best, and we do have some fine trout fishermen here. Usually about 5 or 6 guys over this way take the trout division almost every year. So that's a big, at the Big Bend, that's a big trout tournament. So Mike Perdue, thank you for sharing the information with us, and we'll try to get the results on it. I want to wish you good luck, and I know you're going to do real well on that, okay? I do want to mention too, speaking of boating and all, the recent tragedy we had on the jet ski. Also, I don't know if you know, recently we had a charter boat actually turn over. I mean, I saw the picture of it upside down. I don't know what happened, but all 6 of the fishermen were brought in okay. Nobody was hurt, but all this happened within a couple of days. We had a freshwater fishing fatality down in South Florida, and we talk about boating safety. I mentioned different things in this, and I just again want to remind you to to handle your boat safely, and for goodness sake, all the rules are in here, everything to do, but the most important thing is just use common sense and drive, as borrow the old term from Florida Highway Patrol, drive defensively out there when in a boat, look around, or just keep scanning the area left to right, because these jet skis are like motorcycles on the water. They don't have, a lot of times they don't have experienced people driving them, and they don't have any brakes again, like your boat don't have brakes either, but you just have to keep a cushion and watch out for them, and even though sometimes you may have the right of way and they're going really fast, just let them go. It's not worth it. So please be careful out there, and watch out for your fellow boater out, especially on weekends when it's really, really crowded, especially around San Andrew Pass. It's an amazing amount of people that funnel through there on weekends. Okay, I saw something the other day. This is another subject now. On Highway 77 coming back between Southport and Highway 20. I saw a real estate sign for sale, 640 acres, and it just struck me because that meant so much to me, because we talk about this with my students. That is one section of land, and you just don't see a section of land that big, usually that close to an area like Panama City. And for you that don't know the history, and because 99% of my students don't know this story here, but when we first started Surveying America, U.S. Geological Survey, everything was broken down into sections. I know you're a surveyor, you know all this, but students don't understand this. And you have 640 acres, that's sections of lands, and then a lot of times the family would have it, and then they pass it down to next generations. It'd be broken down to 320, and that 320 later on be broken down to 160, and then 80 acres, and then 40 acres, and then 20 acres. So you see where a lot of times if you open up the ads Sunday morning and look for acreage for sale, you'll see a lot of 20s and 40s and 80s, and that's where it's come from, that 640. So it just fascinated me when I saw that sign, a section of land right there on Highway 77 from section below Highway 20 there. So if you get a chance to pass on that little tidbit of knowledge as far as how our land, it goes way back to Thomas Jefferson when we started surveying America and all, and breaking things up into sections of land. There are not a lot of sections left unless it's in some large farm area and all, so especially this close to town. I just want to pass that on to you. It just struck me as funny. Okay, now I'm going to get ready to intro this video. We spent some time at Cape San Blas last week, and while I was up here doing the show, my family down there enjoying themselves, having breakfast and drinking coffee, and all of a sudden Gail looks out on the water and sees a water spout coming in from the Gulf. That's when we had some of those stormy weathers and all last week. So, and she immediately, she's gotten good about filming, and of course you can film some with your phone and everything, but she had the camera. Actually, by the time she went in the house, got the camera and come back out, it was still going, so it actually was a lot longer. And this little video is on 1 minute 5 seconds. It just happened. This is not coming off the Weather Channel or off national news. This is just something local. These are real people seeing real water spouts here locally. So we're going to run this little water spout video and then come back after the break. Okay, Jeff? Hi, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that little video. That water spout was just coming right off the Gulf, but it's dissipated right toward the end. It's really fascinating. They're not really dangerous, but it's fascinating to watch a piece of nature like that. Let's take a look at the fish and game forecast brought to us by Mark Cowart. And I'm just going to hold it up right here. The times today from 12:26 to 2:26 this morning and this afternoon, right to lunch from 12:53. See right here, right after lunch, 12:53 to 2:53. I want to congratulate Mark and Michael Cowart for that 5th place finish down in Apalachicola at Emerald Coast Redfish tournament this past weekend. Good job there, fellas. I'll try to get some pictures of you folks coming up soon. Okay, now on tomorrow's show, it's going to be that video of the Brim tournament. You heard what I said. There's a Brim tournament up at Red Bay Grocery up there, and there were folks from north part of Alabama, South Alabama, north part of the Phoenix Springs, and over toward Calhoun County, all kind of people. There were over 20-something boats fishing that Brim tournament. So we had some video of the weigh-in last Saturday afternoon. You know, I filmed all kind of weigh-ins, king mackerel tournaments, of course. I filmed the Blue Marlin Classic when they were doing that. We filmed a lot of redfish tournaments, speckled trout tournaments, lionfish tournaments, but we've never had a video on a Brim tournament, and it is a hoot. So you're going to really enjoy tomorrow's video. Hope you get a chance to watch it, all right? Now, I was trying to, summer's on. I talked about this the other day. I'm going to run out of time, but I was talking about the summer, all the different things you do this summer. A lot of families are out, and I know a lot of people that first week when school was out just took off to go out of town on some kind of vacation. A lot of y'all settling back in here, back home in the Panhandle, and trying to find some things to do. So I made a list. You can see how long the list is. I wrote it down last night. Of course, okay, fishing. Of course, all kind of fishing. We're going to talk about that. I'm not going into detail. Of course, you know you can fish this summer. Camping. A lot of folks are into camping. What a great family activity is. I talk about camping a lot here on Panhandle Outdoors. Hunting. Yes, you can still hunt in the summertime. You can hog hunt. Just call Paul up there at Muddy River Outfitters up there outside of Alpha. Paul Stokes. You can do some hog hunting at night. It's nice and cool with infrared. You can if you got a permit, you can do some gator hunting, or you can frog hunt this summer, okay? What about snorkeling? Getting ready for scallop season coming up soon. Practice snorkeling. Take kids. I know when my kids were little, first place we ever snorkeled was at San Andrews State Park, just out of the kiddie pool around those rocks. It's just fascinating. Things we take for granted. Those kids put a mask on and look underwater. They love it. Okay, floundering. Floundering is always big time. Especially late summer, summer nights, while it's nice and cool, floundering is a big deal. Work on your food plot. You watch out for snakes and all, but also get up in the woods. Make sure it's nice and clean, and your shooting lanes and all that, and get your food plot going. Check your game camera. Put up some summer game cameras. You'll be surprised. These, like Ronnie Groom was on the show the other day talking about the size of these deer antlers now. They're already coming on really strong. They're in velvet and all. Hike to Torreo State Park. You do it early morning or late in the afternoon. The Torreo State Park is this beautiful cliffs and all over there. Rare gem of the Florida Panhandle. A lot of folks don't know about it. How about just going over on Highway 20 right past Ebro, pulling in under the bridge there on the Choctawhatchee River, and watch sturgeon jump. Sturgeon jumping is just a fascinating part of nature, watching those. At the same time, you can sit there and have a picnic and take your camera and all, set it up and let it run and all. I've got some great video of just setting it up there because once they start jumping, they get way up there. It's just like a tarpon. There's not any difference between a tarpon and sturgeon. Body movement is the same and the size of those fish are the same. Trot lining, okay? All of our river systems, the Apalachicola River system, Choctawhatchee, Ocklawackee, all these little tributaries that go in there, trot lining or bush hooks. Trot line goes out like that, and bush hooks, you set them along. I know a lot of us have done that growing up, and my good buddy Bill Allen and Bill Shields, they do a lot of it. So that's a fun thing to do also. And this is an odd one. I haven't mentioned this before, but I get fascinated with this because I get my students to do this. Work on be thinking about a little outdoor invention you can make. Sometimes these summer nights and all, they're amazing some of the things you can do. How about going and grunt worms? Teach your kids how to grunt worms. Drive that stake in the ground and rub it back and forth and worm fiddling. Go out on a headboat. A lot of fun there. Practice tying some knots on these cool afternoons. And there's so many apps. We talked about so many knot tying apps on your phone. It takes away the fun part of my teaching. I used to love teaching kids how to tie knots, and now they go to their phone and learn how to do it. They don't need me anymore. Walk out on the pier. Also, Google Earth. Look at some of the maps of the lower Apalachicola River, the lower Choctawhatchee River, and just look at some of those tributaries. It's amazing. And I've got more, but I'm going to run out of time. Don't forget now, all kinds of things to do this summer pertaining to outdoors, but just most of all, make sure you do it. Don't just sit there and think about it. Get out there and do it. Okay, tomorrow we're going to have that brim fishing video. You're going to get a kick out of that. And make sure you do something outdoors all time this week. Do it while it's cool and it's really hot in the middle of the day. And as always, we ask you to do something good for your fellow man. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.